On the June 15th East vs West Challenger Series card, Derek Smith was supposed to arm wrestle Kyle Hutchinson on the right arm. Kyle got injured and the match was cancelled. Derek Smith was looking for a replacement and he called Travis Bagent. Travis agreed and he accepted a left arm super match. And that's what we are going to see on this card on the same day on June 15th. It will be cool to see the level of Travis Bagent's left as well, because yes, he's competing, but that is on the right arm against Sergey Kalinichenko. And Travis is known for his left arm more than his right. So it will be cool to see in a very short period of time the level of both Travis Bagent's left arm and his right arm. Chan Shaw noticed that he was being called out by Ibrahim Sagov. After confirming with the help of Artyom Ternenko whether what Chance was thinking was actually true or not, he did accept Ibrahim's challenge. Now we don't know if the match is actually confirmed already or not, because these days that's the style that the athletes are choosing to promote the matches. When the match is already fixed, they suddenly act like it is not fixed and they are actually calling the opponent out to accept the super match. So we never know. But I would like to believe that Ibrahim Sagov is at a higher level than Chan Shaw. And obviously he did beat Sandris Chedis, who beat Chan Shaw. But that way Zurab Tavbaridze beat Ibrahim and then Chan Shaw just dusted Zurab Tavbaridze. So we cannot compare it that way, but still Ibrahim has to be considered at a higher level. But it seems to be almost impossible to hook Chan Shaw. So I think it's a great match. Zurab Tavbaridze is not quitting arm wrestling. Yes, that has been confirmed already a couple of times. We don't know why he mentioned that in the first place, but recently he posted a 105 kg static lift. That's what he calls it. To be fair to him, he is moving the weight just a little bit, but still it looks like kind of a perpendicular forearm weight hold. I wouldn't even call it a bicep hold. But I guess that in any way except for probably a conventional deadlift style, if you can lift a 105 kg dumbbell with just one arm, it has to be impressive, especially when you yourself don't weigh that much. Global Elite Arm Wrestling posted an upcoming match poster of Ryan Espey versus Mataewarangi Heta Morris left arm super match. So with that being announced, now the September 7th Toronto card is up to Pavlo versus Cody left arm, Nick Stone versus Vostek left arm, and RVJ versus Alan Ford, and obviously the SP versus Heta Morris match. Major Arm Wrestling Championship is going to happen on May 25th in USA. They have also announced all of the matches of their upcoming pay-per-view card, and the posters of all of which you can see on the screen right now. So Denis Cyplenkov in the recent Arm Olymp video tried to clear everything out about his mindset, about his potential surgery, about his recovery. I'm quite sure he has already done that maybe a dozen times, but this time the perspective was just a little bit different. He said that he has tried everything, every single procedure, every single treatment, medicines, needles, everything, but he is still not recovered. Denis said that it will be difficult for anyone to convince him for these traditional methods. Some things get lost in the translation. After watching the 20-minute video, I was still not able to figure out if he's in fact going for the surgery or not. But he did mention that earlier the surgery was supposed to happen on early June, but right now he has too many obligations, he has too many events to attend, so maybe he's trying to postpone it. We are not sure. If Hermes Gasparini was about to wait for Denis for just a couple of months, then he better start training for someone else, because it clearly seems to me as if Denis is probably not going to come back to the arm wrestling table for actual competition by the end of this year, or maybe by the beginning of next year. Denis said that initially he was able to manage the pain, but when it started crossing the limits, he went to 3 practices. He was there in the gym, he saw everyone practicing, but he just decided to stay on the bench and not participate in the activity. That's when he realized that the problem is serious and he probably needs to go for the surgery. But Denis is still hopeful. He said that this is just the beginning. He will try to heal up as soon as possible and then train very seriously for an event, and once he competes, he would like to carry forward those gains that he made in the gym on the practice table towards the next competition that he's going to have, and he's hopeful that he will reach the peak once again. After that, he quoted that John Brzezinski is almost 60 and Devon Larratt is almost 50. That makes him hopeful as well that he can probably also reach his peak shape in the later years. Denis also addressed some of the comments saying that he is in it just for the money. To be honest, I have also commented a similar thing. I said said in one of my videos that Denis is probably taking these difficult matches just because they have more money attached to them. Otherwise, he would have been taking some easier matches that he can actually win. So yeah, he kind of made me feel bad about my comments as well. Denis said that he is not in it for the money. His whole life he has been arm wrestling, he has achieved almost everything that there was to achieve, and his entire life is dedicated to arm wrestling. Even now, he doesn't need the money from it, but he thinks about arm wrestling and he trains. Then Denis appreciated the fact that Hermes Gasparini understood well why Denis is cancelling the match, and he is also not too mad about the cancellation. But for sure, Denis also feels sad just because he couldn't be present on the match day. He had to back out of the match because of reasons that were not under his control. Devon posted a funny photo on his social media saying that he's very close to 105 kilos already and he's planning on to defeat Davit Samushia. Well, obviously that was just a joke because Samushia competes in the 85 kilo division and there is no way that Devon is going to be able to compete under 100 kilos. Let's say 95 kilos, maybe 3-4 years later when Devon loses even more weight. But he also mentioned the fear of Georgia. Some people didn't understand that comment, but since 2018, Devon has lost only 3 matches and all of those 3 losses came to Georgians. Devon also commented on the upcoming main event of King of the Table 11, Ivan Matyuchenko versus Artyom Morozov. Devon believes that Ivan is one of the best hook arm wrestlers of all time, probably the best. But Artyom Morozov is still young and he's much more versatile, and that's why Devon believes that he's the favorite to win this match. We saw Levan, Saginashvili and Bob Sapp having some fun on the arm wrestling table. I don't know what the exact occasion was. Well, maybe he was invited as a guest and so was Levan Saginashvili at the Georgian Grand Bellagio Casino Championship of some kind. Maybe there was a fighting event, but it was cool to see 2 celebrities in Georgia arm wrestling. Yes, Levan Saginashvili is probably one of the biggest celebrities out there. So about Bob Sapp's arm wrestling, all we know is that he was good enough back in the days to beat up on the MMA guys. So he knew a little bit of arm wrestling, and it's insane to see that his fist size looks almost as big or even bigger than Levan Saginashvili. The man is a complete beast. Other than that, Artyom Morozov was seen arm wrestling at the recent Asian Arm Wrestling Championship. That's kind of doubtful. Why would Morozov arm wrestle there? Because I mean, that's kind of supposed to be a natty event, and maybe it was just kind of a celebrity match or they just pulled for once. I'll check out the World Arm Wrestling Federation page and tomorrow I'll give you some updates about the results of the Asian Arm Wrestling Federation. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe.